Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, checking your bank account, and discovering that every single person on Earth has exactly the same amount of money. Billionaires, millionaires, the poor, the middle class, everyone now owns the exact same balance. Would this create a perfect world of fairness, or would it lead to total chaos? At first glance, it feels like a dream come true. No one would struggle for food, no one would have to worry about rent. That single mother working 2 jobs, she now has enough to provide a comfortable life for her kids. That homeless man sleeping under a bridge, he suddenly has the same wealth as Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Equality at last. But let's dig deeper, because the story doesn't end there. The moment everyone checks their new balances, the world economy shifts overnight. The stock market crashes, not because of a lack of money, but because no one is poor anymore. Suddenly, who's going to take the low-paying jobs? Who will clean the streets, collect the garbage, or even work long hours at fast food restaurants? If everyone has wealth, many jobs people once depended on simply won't get done. Now imagine supply and demand. With everyone equally rich, the demand for luxury goods skyrockets. Everyone wants the best cars, the biggest houses, and the rarest jewelry. But here's the problem. Resources are limited. There aren't enough Lamborghinis, mansions, or private jets for everyone. And when demand explodes but supply stays the same, prices inflate like crazy. That $1 million in your account? Suddenly, it might only buy a loaf of bread. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Human nature. Money has never been the only source of inequality. Some people are more ambitious, some more creative, some more disciplined. Even if we start from the same amount, people will begin making different choices. Some will invest, some will spend recklessly, and some won't touch their money at all. Fast forward a few years, and guess what? The gap returns. Some people will once again rise to the top, becoming wealthier than others, not because they started richer, but because of their choices, talents, and luck. In other words, true equality would vanish as fast as it came. But let's imagine the extreme scenario. Governments step in to keep everyone's money equal. No matter how hard you work or how careless you are, at the end of the month, your balance resets to match everyone else's. Sounds fair, right? But here's the catch. What happens to motivation? If a doctor spends 10 years studying medicine and earns the same as someone who does nothing, why bother working hard? Why sacrifice sleep, stress, and years of training for the same paycheck as someone relaxing at home? Productivity would collapse. Innovation would stop. Society would stagnate. We might think equal money means equal happiness, but history tells us otherwise. Human beings compete. We compare. We always find ways to measure success, if not by money, then by power, status, beauty, intelligence, or influence. Equality in numbers wouldn't erase inequality in spirit. And let's not forget, money isn't the only kind of wealth. Health, relationships, creativity, and freedom often matter more. A sick billionaire would trade fortunes for good health. A lonely millionaire would give it all away for true love. So, what would really happen if everyone had the same money? For a short moment, it would feel like paradise. Streets filled with new cars, people celebrating in fancy restaurants, a sense of balance restored. But soon after, chaos, inflation, shortages, and human ambition would bring the inequality right back. Maybe the problem isn't that money is unevenly distributed. Maybe the real challenge is how we use the money we already have. So let me ask you, if tomorrow morning you woke up with the same amount of money as every other person on Earth, what would be the very first thing you'd do?